Good morning.
It is.
Ego is defined in the dictionary as the part of the psyche that governs action rationally, and egotism is defined as selfishness and self-interest.
All right.
One of the beliefs that have been taught and that has been promoted extensively in most Christian religions is that the natural man is an enemy to God. Many would define the natural man as man's ego. In talking with therapists and in reading many books on spirituality, self-help, psychology, etc., ego is more often than not referred to as something we should get rid of, or at least keep in check and control if we want to be happy. If it were to be rated as good or bad, the majority of people I know would say it is bad and a source of evil. I disagree. I believe and agree with you in that you have expressed the importance of being selfish enough to proclaim that nothing is more important than I feel good. I find myself wincing when I find negative references to the ego. Many would say my support of the ego is the ego in me speaking, and I should strive to silence it. I think the ego is what causes our desires to shoot forth and let us know what we do want. So I think that it's not only beneficial but crucial to us in our human experience. I don't think we need to get rid of it, but that we should be listening to it. Can you clarify this for me? Am I missing part of the picture?
You have laid a very good basis here, and we can clarify this easily for you. It will all fit together for you. Remember step 1 and step 3. And so, simply put, everything that you have read there, your definition and description of ego, even as others are proclaiming it to be, we do not disagree. In other words, you are a focusing mechanism. And you have this perspective that emanates from where you stand, and everything that you perceive is through the eyes of self. And you cannot help but feel preference from your position. And everyone does the same. Here is a premise, an absolute law, that as you hear it, it will make you feel soft and easy about the idea of individual selfishness, because we want to start there. If it is true, and it is, that when I, meaning any point of consciousness, asks, it is given, then can you not feel the perfection of the selfish ego? Because every vantage point gets to ask, and every vantage point is answered. And when everyone is individually choosing and sources answering, then what could be a more balanced world? As each individual is shooting off their rockets of individual desire and sources answering it, what could be a more fair, a more balanced universe? So, understanding that you cannot get rid of your preferences, therefore you can never be rid of that which many are, and we think rather accurately and well, calling ego. Now here's the way it all fits together. You hear us talking about, you ask through your contrast. And source answers, that's step 2. And step 3 is letting it in. And so what this debate, this age-old debate, has always been about is about how step 1 and step 3 fit together. The ego is a very important part of step 1. In other words, it's from that framework of self and self-interest and what I know and what I care about and what I've experienced and what I would like and what I've lived and what I've seen others live. It's from that perspective that you conclude as you so selfishly and accurately can for yourself. But what you've written from your paper is very accurate when religionists say that man sometimes has lost God in his ego, because very often in his struggle for what he does want, he does not relax and allow it to be. And so everything that you have written there that others have concluded is accurate, we would say. It's just helpful if you have an understanding that both aspects of your beingness are of value. And so it's a really funny thing, as people argue this over the years, should we have ego or should we not? And it never occurred to any of them that sometimes it's helpful and sometimes it isn't. In other words, no one ever felt free enough. What is it about humans that makes you want to say, well, this is good and therefore it's always good? When the fire is in your house and the firemen come and they break out your windows and they shoot the water in your house, it's a good thing. But is it a good thing when they come on a day when there is no fire? And you say, no, well, that's silly. Of course it isn't. And we say, then why can't everything be that way? Why can't some applications of it serve you and some applications of it not? In other words, your perspective and your desire and the clarity of your wanting is a very important part of the deliberate creative process. But once you have let universal forces know what you want, then you have to get out of the way and trust and let it be, you see.
Thank you.
Really good.
Thank you.
Yes.